Hey everyone, Chef Anthony here at Dawn's Appliances. Today we're talking about how to properly store your fruits and vegetables in your refrigerator, and a few key fees.
Good. Start from the top.
Yeah. Hi, Chef Anthony here from Dawn's Appliances. Today we're going to talk about how to properly store your fruits and vegetables. We're going to go over some do's and don'ts and a few key tips on how to store them in your refrigerator. Let's open the Bosch French door right now. So check this out, great theater lighting in here, cool stuff, but really we want to focus on the produce and where we want to keep things in here. So look at our our asparagus like this. Asparagus I'd love to keep in the water just like this, a couple inches. That'll really help preserve it, keep it fresh. That can sit on any shelf. Here's our vegetables here too. Let's look at our bigger items like our cauliflower and our broccoli. I love keeping the cauliflower here on the right-hand side. It needs low moisture, okay? And depending on what setting you use and depending on how your functionality of your Bosch is, let's slide open our VitaFresh Pro drawer. So if you look at the VitaFresh drawer, it's really nice, compact, it's designed, and these bins are removable, but here's where all the guesswork is. Everybody asks me, Chef, do I put the humidity up? Do I put the humidity low? Here, they are all dedicated settings. So it'll hold 32 degrees and keep the proper humidity for the fruits. We can adjust it. If I hit the unlock right here, we could adjust it down. Same 32, but look, now the moisture is doubled for vegetables, okay? See that? From single to double. And then, there is a beverage and a snack setting too, so it'll hold it up to 40. But you can go to customize, and you can customize your own setting depending on what you want. But for fruits, we need 32 degrees. We need the moisture to be just like this, because our lemons, our apples, our strawberries, our lettuce needs to be cool and crisp so it doesn't wilt. So that moisture level has to be on a 1. It has to be nice and high so we get most of that humidity, most of that moisture in there because there's so much moisture in there. Now, to the right of this one, in this setup, I keep, the fresh herbs right here. So I got your parsley, I got your scallions, but you can use, basil, thyme, anything. And the best practice is, just a damp cloth or paper towel wrapped up in there just to let them breathe, okay? So I'll hit the alarm button so you don't hear that. But we don't want to douse these in water because too much water will make them freeze and crystallize up. We just want it nice and damp, okay? And this should be changed every 2 to 3 days. Now I would put mushrooms over here as well, and I wouldn't put the mushrooms next to the strawberries or lemons or things like that because the ethylene gases in them, they don't play well. It'll make the strawberries mold in certain spots, but it'll make your mushrooms deteriorate and you'll get, black spots on them. So think about that. Another do and don't here is, we can look at the lettuce right there. Lettuce came in a nice bag. You want to take all your vegetables out of the bags, okay? You want to let them breathe, especially with the cauliflower. You want to take the cauliflower out because it needs that airflow. It needs that corrective cool temperature, and it doesn't need to be in the packaging because it'll actually release and it'll make gases, and there's nowhere for the gases to go. So think about that, right? Other than that, we want to look at the lemons, and another do and don't, a huge piece is where's the onion. I always say, everybody asks, Chef, where do I put the onion? The onion goes in my hand, okay? The onion sits, onions, potatoes, root vegetables, tubers, stuff like that. That's all going to sit in your pantry in a dark, cool place or on your counter, okay? Unless it's processed. What I mean, like this onion's diced up, those potatoes are diced up. If those potatoes are diced up and you're storing them, put them in cool water. If you're using your onion, please place it in a Ziploc bag or a nice Tupperware container with a solid lid, because if your lemons smell like onions or your apples taste like onions, you're storing them too close to each other, so they will cross-contaminate definitely the smells and the flavors. So onions are super strong, so think about putting those in your pantry, or if they're processed, putting them in a sealed tight container, okay? That really covers kind of everything. But for the most important part, we want to know, which ones go together. So keep the fruits and the leafy greens together with your avocados and your stone fruit. Keep your vegetables, on the shelf or to the right of your bin. I kind of like them on the shelves just so I know they're far away. In this Bosch, you could use, the long drawer as well, so they could kind of sit in there. One more thing I forgot to say about the broccoli that I want to mention is, broccoli can be stored in the coolest place, but we have to make sure the broccoli, when we purchase it, when we bring it home, actually, just to snip the end of the broccoli, it'll have some oxidation and color on it. We want it nice and clear like this so it breathes all the way through. So it has that nice, see, it's starting to get a little bit sticky, and the starch and the water's coming out of it. That will let it breathe, kind of let it stay bright and green a lot longer, okay? So I'm gonna close the door. This has been, just some, food for thought on how to preserve this, make this guys last longer, and, get some longevity out of your produce and vegetables. Thank you so much.